Boom, and we are back with more members of the Acoin team. Akon is back, and we are also joined by one of their friends who is going to moderate this section. We have Jessica Walker back again for a second time for BlockDown 2020. I will give it up to you guys, and you do your thing. I'm very excited to hear more about the project and what's going on. Jessica?
Thank you so much. And what a warm introduction and what an amazing panel. I'm so excited to be joined now. So obviously we have man himself, Akon, we have John, Lynn, and we also have Bruno. So such an exciting topic on Acoin and what the future holds. So thank you guys so much for joining me. And also we've got the exciting news announcement we've seen from Acoin today, but also it's someone's birthday on the line. Happy birthday, Akon.
Yay!
Yeah. We're honored you're sharing it with us. And I want to jump in and speak, first of all, with you, Akon. I think you're such an inspiration for so many people, so passionate when it comes to music and also business. I want to hear, just to start off, your cryptocurrency journey.
Oh, man, the journey begins way back. But to kind of fast forward it, like around 2000, maybe, I think 10, 11, 12 in that area, I got really, really interested in it when I was introduced to Brock Pierce, who's a good friend of mine and kind of mentored me through the process. And as I kind of moved forward into it, I started learning more about the digital currency and how it actually worked, along with, figuring out how the blockchain system itself worked. In the beginning, obviously, it was super, super confusing. But then when I realized exactly what it was and what it entailed, I started to understand that this would probably be the perfect instrument for Africa, because Africa had a huge issue with corruption and a huge issue with transparency, and all based within the financial system. And I felt like that was always one of the main reasons why Africa hasn't developed in so many years. Ultimately, because of lack of management, with government and finances and resources and things of that nature. So as the younger generation started to get a lot more smarter, the diaspora started to be a part of Africa's future. We all kind of congregated, and I kind of got a lot of information as to what was needed for Africa's development, what I personally seen and visualized. And I thought one day, man, listen, if I created my own cryptocurrency for Africa, which could be the African coin, but also not just for Africa, but all the other developing countries around the world, Africa could be the perfect model and launch pad for it. So I reached out to my brother, John Carraz. We had already did previous business together on the entertainment side, and he was always really good at putting teams together for anything that I wanted to do. So he put together this amazing team, and first person he reached out was Lynn Liss. And I met her at the cafe, and she had this huge, amazing smile, super hype, and was like, yo, let's do this. Let's do this. And from that day on, man, we just been putting all these people together, man. And we found a missing puzzle, which was Bruno on the financial end of it. And he's been an amazing, amazing tool and instrument for us as to getting all this stuff together, dealing with the financial aspect of it, the regulations and all the things that's attached to it that I don't actually think about. And we just been putting together just an amazing team to pull it off. And now we're at our big days now, just literally moments away from the whole world being able to utilize it on every major, platform. So I'm really excited.
Such an exciting time, and what a squad that you've got as well. You said everyone complements each other so well. You've got Akon, you're the one that understands like the African market and the continent there. Lynn and John, I want to turn to you and just ask you, how did you find, first of all, working with Akon, the project? How were you approached? And we'll start with you, Lynn, and a little bit of background on your space in the industry.
Yeah, thank you. And I'll say it on the big screen. Happy birthday, Akon! You're right. From the minute we were like, let's go, let's do this. I am the COO and co-founder. And I love thinking about the journey that got me here. When we met, John, our president and fearless leader, and my husband had known each other in the entertainment business for years. And when John heard that I was one of few people working in the social impact space, but specifically how blockchain and cryptocurrency was being launched in that space. We had a meeting. I'd been about 10 years in the social impact space, and about a year advising companies at the time where ICOs were occurring, about a year spent on that. We met, as Akon said, and it was this massive union. I mean, I think we shook hands day one and we were off to the races. But I'll add
Right.
a little less known history. I always think about when I go way back in my career, I just out of high school began operating a startup bank. And this was really cool. You know, when you do young stuff and you don't even know what you're doing, but you're like, yeah, I can do it all. Let's go. And I got to watch just in that first experience, the first wave of financial evolution. So this was, debit cards. This was online banking. That launched me into a career as a management consultant, working with all of the top banks, and about 10 years spent as a management consultant, where again I got to watch a financial evolution occur, where everything was moving to images. So there was this thing called image exchange, and we had to get all the CEOs from top banks together and advise them how to reinterpret their entire operations, work globally, share images, in terms of rather than paper checks. So it kind of, then there was like, I don't know, it wasn't as much going on in the financial evolutionary world until this moment. And so when I look back at it, I'm like, I'm as gaga as I was back then. Akon brings up this opportunity to say, oh, we're going to launch a currency, a new store of value with a business model behind it for Africa. Like, yes, sign me up. I mean, you couldn't pull me away from it. So that is my background.
You can tell that it took a lot of salesmanship to pull Lynn into the mix, probably about 45 seconons.
And over to our fearless leader, John. You're the man that drives us all forward.
I don't know about that, but the good news is that this has been Akon's vision from the start. Maybe pushing up on 3 years ago, he said, here's what I want to create. Here's what I want to do. Okay, go figure it out. Figure out what exactly we can do so that we really make this functional to have the biggest social impact and create the most tools to help particularly Africa rise, but entrepreneurs in rising economies have a better pathway forward. And we took some time figuring out the best pathway to model, and then it evolved as we built the team. Obviously, Lynn has been at the core of the roller coaster ride of figuring out who, what, where,
seat.
and how. Oh yeah, she's in the front seat, pulling on the seatbelt, going, "Turn left, turn left."
Pedal to the metal.
Oh boy, but it has been an unbelievable journey to where we are right now, and it's a super exciting moment because we're literally weeks away from announcing our going live, our token generation event with some great teammates and great tools. And that's part of why we brought one of our central teammates, much as he's an executive at an affiliated slash company that we're doing a lot of business with. And that's Bruno Macchialli from the Delchain affiliate of Deltec Bank in the Bahamas. Bruno has been with us now as a teammate for probably a good 9 or 10 months and has steered our pathway towards all of the tools and services that Deltec brings, but also a lot of the behind the scenes choices that we've made towards our, again, token generation event. A sound teammate and guide, and not just for us, but for our technology team, some of our central DApp partners, and he's as true believer as if he was one of our co-founders. That doesn't mean that we don't have a lot of spirited discussions, but we benefit from his brilliance and experience. And don't be surprised by his youthful appearance. I think he's probably a little bit
like 16.
Of portrait of Dorian Gray, in that he's really 52. So don't be surprised what he looks like.
Let's talk about Delchain a little bit more and what kind of work they're doing with Acoin, how you guys have come together.
Do we have Bruno on there? Come on, Bruno.
Yeah, I'm here. Well, it's I can give you some of the background here, indeed. So I remember the first contact I had with John. It was so I said 6 to 8 months ago, and it was the first conference call we had, and when good, I heard about that great project and initiative with all the people, and seemed to be very global and very large vision, right? And for me, it was really important also to feel that John was surrounded by people that were strong, good vision, and then Akon and all those teammates that also shared the experience that he has, and that I was dealing with people, that were really about pushing this towards where they want to make it happen, because it's a very ambitious project. We have to be honest about that. So little after that, we had the first face-to-face meeting, and the good thing is, I was lucky to have the whole executive team in front of me, and it was a very large table, nice setup, and it was starting to know each other, nice introduction. So just going one-to-one with each member for me about understanding exactly what each person was doing, but also making sure that we could have a good fit, because for me was making sure that if we do something with a very ambitious project, is that we have a good fit, and then we can bring them where they want to go. And that's really important, because everyone today is looking for partners that can bring something and also not losing time. We have to be honest about that. So for me, it was to see if there's a match, if there's something we can do for them, and if there is some win-win and fruitful things that we can build. And I have to say, it immediately clicked between where Delchain is going, what we're providing, what type of services we are giving, and what were the needs, let's say, that were defined at that moment. And then we just immediately meshed together, and we started to have a roadmap, a plan, a structure, everything. And as John is saying, even though Delchain is, I'm externally, but we are talking on a daily basis. We're talking about several things. So we have a strong bond with regards to how we're working. And Delchain being a financial advisor. And just one thing to correct, because John was talking about our other company, because we're part of a group. So Delchain is part of Deltech International Group, and we have multiple companies within the group that are also giving traditional financial services. So it's making actually the offering that we have on the table pretty much unique on the market, because we can bring traditional financial services plus digital asset services under one common roof. And that's where, teaming up with us, which is all entities are licensed, bringing a very strong, let's say, type of set of services, but also credibility as well.
Awesome. And it sounds like you guys have had such a busy 2020 already. It's just been 4 months in and you've got so much done. So we last caught up in November of 2019. And since then, what kind of things has Acoin been up to? Maybe John or Liss, you want to give a little bit of a breakdown?
Lynn, you want to take it? I'll just tee it up to say that our big focus has been tech build, adding in DApp partners, a bunch of the financial stuff with a major exchange that we'll be talking about in the next number of weeks, and with Deltech and Delchain, getting many details ready for this token generation event launch, and of course our earlier announcement, our recently inked joint venture with Julius Mwale and Mwale Medical and Technology City, and the related ventures around that. Been super busy. And Lynn, jump in on some of the details. Go for it.
And of course, it's all exciting, but the most exciting is this token launch event on a major exchange. And I think it is worth highlighting. When I think about Bruno, and I think about the behind the scenes, just love and care that you put into making sure companies like ourselves, as you said, very big ventures, can find their way to the right next step. So we've been working on this, I don't know if it's 6, 7, so many months. So within the next few weeks, it really, again, was spearheaded by Bruno and team to help us navigate those new waters.
Go,
right?
Bruno!
Go, Bruno! So we're so proud. And we look forward to just rolling announcements from us, because if Mwale wasn't enough, our launch is going
more.
Super major. And so we can't wait to share that. And I echo, John, as you're saying with Mwale, again, as the operator of all of our scenarios. What an amazing opportunity. We are, around the clock working out how this launches and how the user is integrating and all the bits and pieces. So there's going to be a lot of exciting updates coming out around that. And again, big world-worthy press moments that you'll hear about. And then I just want to say, please do stick around. I think it's like half an hour away, 45 minutes. We're doing a panel on our DApp partners. So do come back to watch that, because I always say at every conference, please reach out. Like, opportunity, time is of the essence. The early movers really, is it get the worm? I don't know. The early movers really do win in this case. So reach out. before my and John's inbox gets too busy so that we can help you launch in Africa. That's what our last panel is going to be about, how we work with dApps. So stay around for that. Akon, other things about to happen, excitement to add.
Well, I think you mentioned everything. Everything else right now is things that I'm actually pulling together, but that's not quite ready for announcement just yet. But just look forward to a lot of great new things outside of what we just announced to you.
And what kind
Indeed.
of feedback are you expecting from Macchialli's is huge news. So congratulations. And it is so exciting, I think. What kind of feedback are you expecting from people, and what kind of things are you going to come from it?
I think it's going to be great feedback, because everything that we're pretty much bringing to the table are necessities. And I think the goal is to always find things that people necessarily need every single day, some that they can utilize in their everyday daily use. And I think, especially when you're looking at emerging countries, you got to find solutions. And we want to be the solution for every problem that's happening in those areas.
Awesome. Amazing. Thank you so much. So maybe now we can get just a final statement just from everyone, just on kind of their one thing they're looking forward to for 2020 from Acoin project, a little key personal milestone that they're having. And Akon, I want to start with you.
Oh, absolutely. Just look for Acoin as to be the solution for Africa's issues, up and coming and emerging countries, creating opportunities for the youth, entrepreneurship. We want to fuel that to the fullest extent and just provide all the attributes from healthcare to education to infrastructure to agriculture. I mean, you name it. We want to be in every space that gives people all the energy that they need, and not only that, build the confidence within the community to be able to help them build their countries forward.
Amazing. Thank you. And Lynn, one more thing from you. So what kind of things, if you had to pick one thing that you were just the most excited for, that people should stay tuned for this year?
For me, I can't wait to hear the stories. I always say my kids are so fluid using points and digital stuff online. We already have such a wave of those entrepreneurs in Africa just so ready for this. Akon made us well aware of that from the beginning. Like, they've leapfrogged, they are ready for this technology. Nice. So to start hearing the stories where they've built their careers, they've used our tools, they're very flexible and ease of use with Acoin, and it's accepted in the local markets and vendors. That's our huge roadmap. And I already feel it happening. So I'm already celebrating.
I love the positivity. I can feel it through the screen. So Bruno, from a kind of a technological standpoint, what kind of things are you looking forward to the future holds for Acoin?
Well, of course, we cannot disclose everything that we are doing now, but we are really a company Acoin initiative on all steps, meaning now the next steps after the token generation is happening. So during that and after, so we have multiple things that we are looking at together with the global initiative, because it's so wide that obviously it is important to go step by step, but have a global plan, but making sure that we are delivering the first steps to be able to keep on building. So all those things are planned. Obviously now is really about the token generation happening in the terms and conditions that we are bidding now with the right partners that we want to have. And once this is live, then obviously there are other things that will come up from all fronts on what Akon is doing with Julius on the other steps, and on the other also dApps that will coming up. So we'll be in a central place with regards to the financial advices that we're giving, but also the services that all together coming back to the financial digital asset type of services.
Fantastic, awesome. And now, John, final quote from you. So what kind of things are you expecting from the rest of the year, and any key milestones that you've got personally?
Well, for me, I'm just super excited about Acoin being used as the primary digital transactional tool, first in Macchialli Medical and Technology City, and then across Kenya, Central and East Africa, moving to West Africa. Seeing it utilized to help empower so many people is something that we've dreamed of, and that matches up to Akon's vision from, at this point, probably 3 years ago. So seeing that come to life in literally the next 45, 60 days, as it starts up and gets instant adoption, because it will be a plug and play in Macchialli Medical and Technology City, it just has us all giddy, and couldn't be prouder and couldn't be happier that our team has just stepped up. They've gone sleepless, but they've stepped up. So
well,
really
that's for
proud.
sure. That's
really
for
proud.
sure.
No, a huge celebration is completely in order from all of you. It sounds like you've been really hard at work for the rest of 2020, and now at least Akon, you can have a little bit of a celebration. It is your birthday after all, and then the rest of the team can have a little party with you. So, Lynn, you mentioned you have the DAPS conference, which is straight after. So you should advise people to keep watching, right?
Yeah, I think it's about 30 minutes. So please take a little lunch break or whatever time zone you're in, a little snack, and come back.
Yeah, listen,
Alrighty,
guys,
thanks so much.
absolutely fantastic and phenomenal news. Thank you very much, Jessica. But listen, we had one journalist that because of technical difficulties wasn't able to ask a question. Is it possible for him to ask a quick question? Do you guys have a couple more moments?
Absolutely, absolutely.
All right, Akon, wicked.
Go for it.
Okay, we got Kingsley on the line. Kingsley, are you there? He's joining.
Did he make it?
Did he make it?
Yeah,
Is it
he
going to
did
happen
now.
this time?
Kingsley.
Oh, man. It's just not Kingsley's day today, huh?
It just ain't his day. Kingsley,
Yeah,
are you
good
there?
day, everybody.
Oh, there we go.
Black Panther.
He made it?
Yeah, I'm just going to show my face now.
There
Yeah.
you
There
go.
he is. Hey.
Kingsley! My man.
Hey, good day, everybody. I'm happy to be here.
Now, we happy to have you, man. We heard you was going through a lot of difficulties connecting.
Yeah, terrible difficulties are part of what we face here in Africa. It's why Africa really needs blockchain. Really.
Don't
We
worry,
do.
buddy. We're working on it. We're working on it.
Yeah, I understand that today is your birthday. I just wanted to say happy birthday.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate it, man. Thank you so much.
Okay, ask your question.
Okay, do I say my questions now or
Yes,
I'll
yes,
go.
have
Yeah, feel
to
free.
hold
Go for
on
it.
a bit?
Yeah.
Okay, so I thoroughly went through the Akoin white paper, and I saw a lot of interesting stuff, and I'm very happy about the stuff I saw. So I just have a couple of questions to ask about. I have one question actually to ask about the Akoin white paper. I want to know if there's any, is there's any points in time where provisions would be made and things would come to Nigeria, sort of, given that currently Nigeria has Nigeria has the highest interest on blockchain, anything that has to do with blockchain and cryptocurrencies, and is already the most populous and buoyant economy in Africa. So I was just thinking, is the Akoin white paper is the Akoin project in any way looking or considering, bringing some of its good stuffs, towards Nigeria or how? I just wanted to know that.
So let me
Absolutely.
jump in and give you some specific information there. If you join for our DApp partner panel in about a half an hour, you'll hear about what we're doing with our central DApp partner BitMinutes and their trusted area network of retailers, which are up and running in Nigeria and will be integrated with that within the next 45 to 60 days. So we are very focused on Nigeria. We'll be live there in the next several months. And you'll hear a lot more about it with some great specificity in about 35, 40 minutes, right here today on this BlockDown 2020.
Absolutely. There's no
Wow,
way we
that's
could do something like this
interesting.
without involving or being a part of Nigeria's economy or Nigeria, period. Because the influence that Nigeria has around the world, especially in the US and in Europe. So it was really just about finding the right partner in Nigeria. And we've identified the right partner there. So we'll definitely be announcing a lot of the information going forward.
Wow, interesting. Yeah, interesting.
Kingsley, thank you.
Can I?
Thank you very much
okay,
for your
okay.
question, man. I'm so happy that you got the opportunity to speak to Akon on the team. Thank you so much. And listen, guys.
I am very happy.
All right.
Thank you,
and
brother. Thank you.
Cool. So just like
Casey
Lynn
look like
said,
he'd be my
the
cousin.
the early mover gets the worm. Is that what it was, Lynn? So we're coming back to explain how people, how projects, how applications can build their technology with the Acoin team, with that network, with the technology, how that works, a couple of the projects that are already working with the team. And because of the situation I'm in, I'm just going to take the opportunity to be one of those early movers, just to say that Effect.ai employs already 5,000 people across the globe in artificial intelligence development. And a lot of those people are in Africa. It's been our mission with the United Nations to go into Africa. This is probably a perfect time to do so. So I'll be one of the first ones in touch before the email box actually gets big. So Akon, I will be in touch with my project Effect.ai. And listen, man, happy birthday. Thank you so much for the announcement. Thank you for all of the hard work from you and your entire team. Absolutely incredible stuff coming. Absolutely mind-blowing that this is actually happening right now. So thanks, man. Enjoy your birthday. We'll see you in the next one. And thank you to the panel. Jessica, thanks for everything.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you very much.
And good luck, Kingsley. Good luck, brother.
All right.
Thank
you,
everybody.
Bye-bye.
All right, guys, we are going for a small break, and then we will be back with one presentation before we go back to the Acoin team. So stay tuned. We'll see you in a moment.